Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Robb Johnson Sports Show, episode 104. I know it's been a long time. There are things I need to do to be more consistent at this. Life is hard, as you can see with the economy right now and everything going on. But my goal is to be more efficient. My goal is to bring you guys more shows. I know you all love the Robb Johnson Sports Show, as I do myself. Um, so, what I want to talk about today is clearly what we saw last night. Um, with the Major League Baseball playoffs. When you talk about something as extraordinary, something that was as historical as what we saw last night in Los Angeles, you talk about 18 innings. Talk about 18 strong innings. Um, you look at how Will Klein came in just after being signed a couple of days ago and doing what he does. So impressive, so just something that a lot of us have never seen, something that a lot of us have never even thought that we would see. And for the Dodgers to win that game, for Mookie Betts to go, what was it, 1 for 7? 1 for 7. And for him to do what he did for the team to do what they did last night, to rally their around their team. You look at Shohei Ohtani, on base 9 times. He has to pitch tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that. He has to pitch tonight, and he was on base 9 times last night. Very, very impressive performance when you look at the Dodgers. They are now up 2-1 in this series. Game 4 tonight, I would almost say is, I'm not going to say it's a must win for the Blue Jays, but they're going to have to make sure that they come in this game and that they, I would say, at least keep it close. If they lose, if they keep it close, so that when it comes to going back to Toronto, that they can somehow get a win there as well. A great game, 2 great franchises, even though we have not seen the Blue Jays in the World Series since the early 90s. Awesome to see this team doing exactly what they're doing at this time. Again, this is the Robb Johnson Sports Show presented by Robb Johnson Media and the Legacy Maker Sports Network, episode 104. I was supposed to be with you guys at 12 o'clock. I had a lot going on. I apologize about that. Anybody have questions about the World Series? What you thought about the World Series? Freddie Freeman homers in the bottom of the 18th inning. Just extraordinary what he did in that game. So I was impressed. I know a lot of you are impressed by what Freeman did. So, what the hell? What? Wow. Anyway, I just saw something that just shocked me. I can't believe what I just saw. Anyway, so we go to that game again and we look at Major League Baseball. We look at how this World Series is shaping up. Every year we look at it, we ask ourselves, is Major League Baseball going to once again take over? And I think Major League Baseball has done an absolutely great job of putting things in place, of making it one of America's top sports. You look at NASCAR. We look at it was the dynamics and 90s of NASCAR to baseball, and a lot of people, including myself, held NASCAR in a big regard. Still do, but baseball is still one of those top 5 sports. You look at basketball, football, baseball, any of those orders, NBA, WNBA, whichever one you want to put, etc. But those sports are continuing to grow. Baseball, which was considered dead in a lot of spaces. I talked to a guy yesterday, in fact, at a gas station. I wish I had his name. I don't have his name, but he had on a Mets cap. And we were shooting the breeze about the Mets. We're shooting the breeze about baseball. He was talking about how just baseball is one of those sports that he loves, regardless, even over basketball and football. Old school guy. A lot of people old school love the sport of baseball. I love the sport of baseball. I'm old school myself. It's just nothing gets better than baseball in October into early November. Nothing is like it. So I'm hoping that people are enjoying what they are seeing right now in this World Series tonight. The Dodgers play the Blue Jays 8 o'clock again on Fox. Shane Bieber against Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani, 12 innings pitched, 2.25 ERA. Shane Bieber, 12.1 innings pitched, a 4.38 ERA. Shohei Ohtani's whip is 0.75. 0.75. Shane Bieber's is 1.54. Ohtani has 19 Ks. Bieber has 15 Ks so far. 4 walks for Ohtani, 3 for Bieber. If you're the Blue Jays, you want to get the bats going early against Ohtani. I know it's difficult because he's one of the better pitchers in baseball, but you want to get to Shohei Ohtani early. You want to tire him out. You want to get a bunch of foul balls, stuff like that. See, tonight you're not worried about outscoring the Dodgers or beating the Dodgers offense. What you want to do is you want to strategically come in and you want to make them work. And if you got to drop down some bunts early, if you got to, like I said, foul some balls off, if you got to, like I said, make him work into the pitch count, that's what you want to do. You want to tire him out. The goal is to tire Ohtani out. That's the goal for the Blue Jays. If you want to win this game and ultimately win this series, because the Dodgers are going to have their big guns ready. And I know the Blue Jays as well, but that was a heartbreaking loss last night. Definitely a heartbreaking loss for the not the Los Angeles Dodgers, but the Toronto Blue Jays in a classic 18-inning World Series. Now, let's go to today. What's our next topic? Our next topic is actually the NBA. Let's go to some of the games that we have going on. We're not going to talk about last night. We'll talk about tonight. Some of the games we have going on. I'll give you my predictions on those games real quick. Let's see. We got 76ers Wizards. The Wizards have actually been playing decent basketball. Yes, they are only 1-2 on the season, but I've been very impressed by what the Wizards have been doing. Now, you look at the 76ers. You look at Maxey. You look at some of their other. Let me get there. Make sure I have the players. You look at VJ Edgecumbe. Edgecumbe. He has been playing very good. He's been He's 20 years old. He went to Baylor. His first year, basically. He's averaging 25 points a game so far this season, playing very good. That was a very good pickup by Daryl Morey. I criticized Daryl Morey a lot, but that was a really good pickup by the Philadelphia 76ers. I have the Sixers in this game. Tyrese Maxey currently is averaging 37 points per game. Absolutely dominates. So I'm going to give it to the 76ers. You have the Hornets against the Miami Heat. The Charlotte Hornets have been playing decent basketball. So have the Miami Heat. But I'm going to give this to the Charlotte Hornets. I think Melo Ball has been playing really good ball. I think that they're going to, no pun intended, I think they're going to win this game tonight. Kings against Thunder. I think Thunder keep it going. They're 4-0 right now. They're going to be 5-0 after this game. The Kings are a very poor team. One of the marquee games, and this is one of the games on the NBA on NBC tonight. We have Milwaukee against the Knicks. This game is important from this standpoint if you're the Knicks. You want to establish dominance. You go to Miami last game, you lose 115-107. You beat the Cavaliers start out the season, you beat the Celtics. If you want to establish, and these next two games are very important for the Knicks, actually. You're going against a 2-1 Bucks team, and you're going against the somehow undefeated Chicago Bulls on Friday night. You actually play the Bulls back-to-back. You played them on Friday, and you played them on Sunday. And then the schedule gets a little, you got a homestand from – the Knicks actually have a homestand from November the 2nd all the way up to November the 17th. They don't leave the Garden from November the 2nd until November the 17th. The 14th. They play the Heat on the 14th, and then they go on the road and play the Mavericks and the Magic. And they start their road stand where they'll be on the road for 4 games when they start with the Mavericks, and they go and play the Hornets on the 26th of November. So, if you're the Knicks, establish dominance, come out, beat the Bucks. I feel like you're better than the Bucks. They still have Giannis Antetokounmpo, but you need to show that you are the better team. This season is all about the Knicks. Now, The teams in the East are going to be tougher than we thought coming into the season. We can already see that. But if you're the Knicks, if you are a true championship contender, you come out and you show what you got against the Bucks. All right. Then we have our second game on the NBA on NBC. We have Clippers versus Warriors. NBA on NBC. We got 2-1 Clippers against 3-1 Warriors. I have, excuse me, the Warriors in this basketball game tonight. All right, college football. Let's talk some college football. That's our third topic. UTEP against Kennesaw State tonight. Let's see what the records are here. Kennesaw State's 5-2, UTEP 5-2. I'm gonna give that Kennesaw State. Then we have James Madison traveling to a very, not gonna say dangerous Texas State team, but when you go to Texas State, a lot of times they will give you issues. But I'm gonna give this to JMU, James Madison University. I think they'll win this game tonight. Let's see here. Going to tomorrow, we're gonna go through the college football games. Jacksonville State, Middle Tennessee State. I'll give you all my predictions for that. Jacksonville State in that game. Florida International versus Missouri State. This is again on the Wednesday games. I'm gonna give that to Missouri State at home. Let's go to Thursday. We have Delaware State against Norfolk State. We got Mike Vick against Deshaun Jackson. Delaware State 5-3 on the season. Norfolk State 1-7. Delaware State's going to win this game for sure. Let's see what kind of other games we have. We have Marshall against Coastal Carolina. These are Thursday night games, of course. I'm going to give this to Marshall on the road against Coastal Carolina. Then we got 6-1 Tulane against University of Texas San Antonio, 3-4. I'm going to give that to Tulane on the road. Now let's go to our Friday night games. Let's talk here. We have Memphis at Rice. Memphis coming off that big win against South Florida, I believe, who was previously was ranked 7-1 Memphis, 4-4 Rice. I'm gonna give that to Memphis, 7-1 on the season. North Carolina has to travel to the Carrier Dome to face the 3-5 Syracuse Orange against the 2-5 North Carolina Tar Heels. This game is big because you want to try to get into position and get to a bowl game. I got to give it to Syracuse because there's nothing that North Carolina has shown me that shows me that they are going to win this football game. So, let me change this background. Sorry about that. I'm still got on Freddie Freeman. He's still dominating, folks. Sam Houston State against Louisiana Tech. I am going to give this game to the 4-3 Louisiana Tech, the 4-3 Louisiana Tech Bulldogs, as Sam Houston Burkett's are 0-7 on the season. It looks like they're going to be going to 0-8. All right, November the 1st, we got Fordham against Richmond. Who do I have in this game? I've got 4-4 Richmond going over on 1-7 Fordham. Then we have University of Albany against William & Mary. I have William & Mary in this game. They're 4-4. Albany is 1-7. Hurricanes against the SMU Mustangs. I hate to do it. I really hate to do this, but I'm going to have to do it. Let me find my little button here. Hopefully I have it. Miami Hurricanes, you are on. You have been warned. There is nowhere to run. Yeah, Miami Hurricanes, after what you did against after what you did a couple weeks ago when you lost to Louisville, Carson Beck throwing all those interceptions, you're on upset alert going to SMU. It's a game. It's a noon game. It's going to be a high noon game in Texas, which is like an hour away, which is an hour behind. So instead of noon, it'd be noon here on the East Coast, 11 o'clock in Texas. You're on upset alert. See what you can do, Miami Hurricanes. Penn State, I ultimately have Miami win the game, but I ultimately have Miami winning that football game. But Miami has to be very careful against that SMU team on Saturday. Penn State against Ohio State all the way. West Virginia, Houston, I got Houston in that game. Vanderbilt against Texas, 7-1 Vanderbilt against 6-2 Texas. I'm not gonna call the upset here. I have Vanderbilt going to Texas, beating the Texas Longhorns. I do not have an upset here. No, I don't. I think Vanderbilt's the better team, and I think it's going to show on Saturday. Duke against Clemson. Very important game for both teams if they want to make a bowl game. Clemson, actually, this is not going to upset. I have Duke going into Clemson and beating the Clemson Tigers, helping Duke getting closer to that threshold of making a bowl game. Let's see what other games we have here. We got Louisville against Virginia Tech. Hey, once again, got to call it like I see it, ladies and gentlemen.
You have been warned. There is nowhere to run.
Yep, I have it. The upset special, Louisville against Virginia Tech. Tech on the season now is 3-5, while Louisville is 6-1. I think Tech comes out with the win here. I think Tech can, and that's another thing. You look at Miami; they got to play Tech later on this season. I think by them making a head coaching change and them having some changes going on, I really think that has helped that Tech program, which I think next year, going into next year, is going to have a better coach and going to get better recruits, and they'll get back to playing Virginia Tech football. So I do have that now. Next game, we have Texas Tech against Kansas State. No upset special here. I got Kansas State. I got Kansas State losing this game to the Red Raiders from Texas Tech. I don't have an upset at all. All right, going through some of these other games. Notre Dame, Boston College. No upset here. No upset at all. Indiana going to 4-3 Maryland. Should I make it an upset special? I think Indiana's got to be careful. They've been watching their press clippings. They're number 2 team in the nation. But I don't think there's an upset here. Now, this game, 6-1 Georgia, 3-4 Florida. Florida has been very, very picky this year how they want to play certain games. I think Georgia's got to be careful.
You have been warned. There is nowhere to run.
Ultimately, I'll give the game to Georgia, but they got to be very careful. Another game that you got to be very careful in, because I've seen it firsthand. And this team is not that great on the road. But when they get home, it's just something about them. I'm talking about UVA going to Cal. 3:45 start here on the East Coast. I believe it's a 12:45 start on the West Coast. Virginia, you are on upset alert.
You have been warned. There is nowhere to run.
All right. I think Cal can get the upset in this game. I don't want Cal to win. We actually need Virginia to win because Legacy Maker Sports Network, we need the UVA Cavaliers to win this damn game. But I'm nervous right now, especially after seeing what I saw last week against North Carolina. Right now, I'm going to have to give it to California. But if UVA goes into Cal and they win that game, that could propel them for the rest of the season. Now, we look at that's a like I said, a 3:45 p.m. Eastern start time start here on ESPN2. If we look at Virginia's schedule, going down the rest of the way, they play Wake, they're at Duke, and then they play Virginia Tech. So basically, they got 4 games left. Damn, that sucks. That's crazy how we only got a couple of games left here in the regular season, man. Football season goes by way, way too fast. Let's see here. Let's go through some of the other games. This is another critical game, Big 12. Arizona versus Colorado. Colorado's 3-5 on the season. They're trying to get bowl eligible. They need to win this game. They got to play at West Virginia. They got to play Arizona State, and then they got Kansas State. So this is a huge game for Colorado if they want to somehow get to being bowl eligible. South Carolina, Ole Miss. South Carolina, after last week's debacle against Alabama, where they could have won the game, but they had to fumble, etc. Lenore Sellers can only do so much here, folks. Lenore Sellers can only do so much. He's a really good young player. I think he'll be a good NFL player. He's got 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the season. He just needs some more help on that team. But I can't call the upset here. It's at Ole Miss. Ole Miss wins this game against South Carolina. Purdue against Michigan. I see no upset here. I give it to Michigan. Here's another game. If you are Georgia Tech, you got to watch out for it. You are going to 4-4 North Carolina State. And everybody knows in the ACC, it's just something about those late games when you're on the road, when you're in the ACC. ACC is a tough league. Georgia Tech, you are on upset alert.
You have been warned. There is nowhere to run.
I'm going to give that game to Georgia Tech. I'm going to give that game to Georgia Tech. I think they can get it done. Let's see here. Oklahoma goes to number 14, Tennessee. This is not really an upset, in a lot of ways because they're so close in the proximity as far as their ranking. Number 14 against number 18. I think Oklahoma goes in and beats number 14 Tennessee on the road. I think that Oklahoma can go in there. I think they can get it done. Whoever loses this game is basically out of the playoff anyway. So this is a huge game. USC, number 23 team in the nation, goes in against 6-2 Nebraska. You already know what it is.
You have been warned. There is nowhere to run.
Yep. That's a game that's definitely has an upset written all over Nebraska, who has been playing good all season. They're 6-2 on the year, so they should definitely be feared if you are the USC Trojans. Going down the schedule, we got number 17th ranked Cincinnati going to Utah. Oh, this is definitely an upset spread.
You have been warned. There is nowhere to run.
Did you see Utah last week? Did you see how Utah played last week? 6-2 now on the season against a 7-1. I'll say this: Cincinnati goes into Utah and wins that game. That's going to say a lot about the Bearcats. That's going to say a whole lot about the Bearcats. A whole lot about the Bearcats. All right, now let's go to Sunday. We're going to predict these NFL. We're not going to talk NFL today. Recap because again, I'm going to start doing that on Mondays and giving you guys the previews on Tuesdays. Even on Wednesday shows. But Wednesdays are going to be set aside now for wrestling. So that's how we're going to go now, ladies and gentlemen, full force. I'm going to let you guys know. Mondays, I give you guys the previews, the Monday night previews, and then we'll talk about the Monday night game after the fact. We're not going to talk about the Monday night game today because, like I said, we're just getting back. We're trying to get everything organized. Trying to get these start times, everything organized for you all here for the Robb Johnson Sports Show. So Monday and Tuesday are all about. It's going to be all about Robb Johnson Sports Show, recaps and then predictions, and then if we have some going on, we have some special going on. I can always come to you guys with a breaking news or a quick show or somebody that talking about certain subjects that are going on, especially if there's something happening in the world of sports. Wednesdays is going to be all about wrestling. Wednesdays are going to be gold standard wrestling Wednesdays, basically, where we talk about wrestling, talk about the PLEs, etc. Talk about how trash wrestling has become lately. But hey, there's no story for another day. So Sunday, Broncos, Texans. I've got the Texans. 49ers, Giants. I got the 49ers winning that game. Steelers against Colts. I got the Colts on the road. Panthers, Packers. I got Packers. Vikings, Lions. Chargers, Titans. I actually have the Titans winning this game in an upset. I know that's crazy, but I think the Titans can win this at home because the Chargers are so Jekyll and Hyde. Falcons, Patriots. I actually have the Patriots win this game. Bears, Bengals. I have the Bengals. I have the Bears. The Bears better win. The Bears better win this damn game. Jaguars, Raiders. Can I trust the Jaguars? I'll give it to the Jaguars. Saints against Rams. Chiefs, Bills. That's a toss-up. That's a big toss-up. Because I don't know which team is going to show up. I just don't know what team is going to show up. I don't know what Buffalo team is going to show up. I don't know what Kansas City team is going to show up. But from what I've seen, especially the Bills at home, I don't know. I'm going to give it to Kansas City. I think Kansas City has been patiently waiting for this game. I think Kansas City will win this basketball game. Yeah. Seahawks go to Washington, play the Commanders. What Commanders team is going to show up? What Seattle team is going to show up on the road? I'll give it to Seattle. Monday Night Football, Cowboys, Cardinals. This game is going to make or break somebody's season. If Arizona wins, they save their season. If Dallas wins, they save their season. Arizona loses, their season's over. Dallas loses, their season is over. I'm going to give it to the Cowboys, but I'm going to give it to the Cowboys in a very, very, very slim margin. a very, very slim margin because I don't trust Dallas right now. They're at home, yes. And I don't trust Arizona, even though Arizona played some good football this year. All right. So I did skip a topic, but what I want to do real quick, we'll talk to you guys about some high school football. The New Kent Trojans, the team that I cover for the Charles C. New Kent Chronicle. Skip that subject real quick just so I can give you guys that. This past week they lost to the War Hill Lions by a score of 13-12. Very impressive performance defensive-wise. They got to get themselves together offensively. But their last two games, they play at Grafton, they play at Jamestown. They are very capable of winning those games because they're a very good football team. They're 5-3. What are they now? Yeah, they're now 5-3 on the season. They win those two games. They win 7 games for the first time in almost 2 decades. They've won 5-6 games in the past, but this is the year they can win 7 games. If they win that 7th game, I've also heard they probably already wrapped up a home playoff game, which is not too crazy because last year when they played, they actually played Colonial Heights, and I believe both teams only have about 4 or 5 wins, if I can remember. And Colonial Heights had the home game. So if New Kent can win these last 2 games, they'll definitely, in my opinion, get a home game for sure. And it's good for their players, good for the parents, good for the community. That team building what they're building. Like I said, last 2 games, Grafton, Jamestown. A little worried about Grafton because Grafton's given them issues in the past, etc. But I think they can win that game. And then the game against Jamestown, they always handle their business against Jamestown. Only thing is you don't know sometimes how the things are going to go, especially when you're on the road, you're trying to win these games, teams are upset-minded, etc. You just look at their leaders on defense. You got Ben Christian on defense. You got Chase Wiles. The offensive line continues to improve. You got a good set of players coming up in the pipeline there in New Kent. So very proud of what they're doing there. New Kent has a chance to go 7-3 on the season. Also, let me say shout out to the Charles City volleyball girls. They are going to the regional playoffs for the first time in history. Unfortunately, they got to play 20-2 Middlesex. Middlesex is a very tough team, but at the end of the day, I believe in them. I can believe they'll make it competitive. Just listen to your coach. She has been one of the best coaches we've seen in a long time. She's turned that program from being nothing to a something. So I'm very proud of the Charles City girls. Very proud of New Kent. Charles City, New Kent continue to thrive, continue to get better. Good news is the best news. Let's go to the next segment. Last 2 segments.
I need you to shut the hell up for the immediate future.
Who is my shut the hell up going to today? Oh, boy. It's actually so many. It's actually so many. For those of you who like to bitch and complain about how you haven't made it yet in life, listen, look in the mirror. Listen, for me, I have not gone or been to the heights I want to be in the sports media game. I blame myself. I blame nobody else. Look in the mirror, blame yourself, shut the hell up, continue to work, continue to try to make better for yourself. That's all I'm going to say. Try to continue to get better. Now, we all get frustrated sometimes. We have to let out our frustrations, etc. But it starts with self. Like me, I could be more consistent making shows. But I have other things I got to take care of. But I need to make that sacrifice to continue to bring you guys shows. I need to make that sacrifice to make sure I'm bringing you guys shows on Monday and Tuesday, and on Wednesdays being more consistent with bringing you wrestling shows. If I do that, guess what? I'll make it. If not, I won't. So my shut the hell up is to everybody there complaining. You'll make it some way, somehow, as long as you stay consistent. Just be consistent. And don't be afraid to send in an audition tape. Don't be afraid to get in front of somebody and say, hey, this is what I do. I'm good enough. Because you know you're good enough. I know you're good enough. Continue to strive. Now, let's go to our last segment of the day. Telling the world how I feel. All I want to say is, pray for Jamaica. Pray for the world as a whole right now. That's all I can say. Pray for the world. That's what I want to tell the world. Pray for the world. Because there's a lot of messed up situations going on right now. Pray for the world. Y'all have a good one.
It's caught in the crossfire.